What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name's Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellanea. Today, I am presenting you with a whippin' chat. Whip stands for work in progress. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. I'm really glad that you could join me. I hope that you find lots of things to enjoy here. If you are coming back to see me, thank you for coming back. As always, it is a pleasure to see you. So I am pulling out a new piece this time. It is Rainy Day Mermaid from Diamond Art Club. Since I finished Mermaid Tea, I guess I was just going to keep going with the mermaid theme. And we're working on Rainy Day Mermaid. I'm going to start right down here in this bottom corner. And I cannot wait to get started. Please don't look at my fingernails. I got a busted one. Look at that. Because I need to go and get my nails done so badly. Let me tell you a little bit about my tools before I get started. I am using a tray from from Cat Proof Trays. I can't, you guys. I am using a tray from Cat Proof Trays. This is the lid. Cat Proof Trays are amazing. I love these things so much. The lid, it goes right on top. You could throw this thing at a wall with diamonds in it and it's not going to come out. I absolutely adore these trays. This is the fine loaf that you can pick up from Cat Proof Trays. And then I am using my usual pen, at least for now, until my own start to make their way into the fray here. This is from Black Wolf Woodworks. Definitely check them out. They've got some absolutely gorgeous pens. And then I am using putty from Putty Crocker's Boutique and more. This is Drunk Cupid. It smells like chocolate and I absolutely love this one. And who doesn't love a little Drunk Cupid? Just because, you know, it all matches. Isn't it fancy? And then I am using Craft Mates for my storage. It's really awesome. It opens and closes like a book. And it can until you dump half of them out. And then it can sit on the shelf just like a book. We love that. And then they just slide in here very, very nicely. They have 56 containers. They're about the same size as the second size of Elizabeth Ward. Really cool because when you open them, I will give you a little demonstration here. When you open them, you have to push this little purple thing on the side, and as you can see, it kind of moves the thing left and right like that, and you can actually pop it open. You can pop all of them open one at a time, whatever, but when they are closed well. So, that said, I want to get right into it, catch you up on my week. Now, this you can treat like a podcast, or you could grab a piece of something or other and work alongside me, but let's get right into it. I just kind of want to go over like what's been big about my week. And I feel like the largest thing in my life recently has been working on my own pens. Now, I am no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like I'm doing something very special. And I told you that when it was the right time that I would announce it, and I'm ready to talk about my pens. I have what are called intention pens. These pens are special because inside of the pens and everything about the pen, I essentially work some craft work with it, and I imbue it with specific intentions. Let me give you an example. Now, the one that I'm showing you has already been sold, but it is I can at least use it as an example until I need to send it on out. But this one in particular is an intention pen. Now, what I have done is I select wood, stones, and herbs, and they are for a specific purpose. Now, this one in particular is like self growth, okay? So, the wood in particular, this right here, this is catalpa, is the type of wood, and that is for peace and resilience. And then if you look at the herbs inside, there's cornflower, which is that beautiful blue flower. And then inside it, you can see elderberries. The elderberries are for healing. And then the cornflower is for self-love, or at least that's one of the purposes for cornflower. And then on the opposite side, you can see the stones that are inside. Now, the stones that are in this side are jade for balance, wisdom, luck, and love. And then tourmaline is the other stone, and that is for strength and wisdom. Now, diamond painting is a fantastic opportunity to kind of enter a meditative state, right? While you are diamond painting, you are doing something repetitive that allows you to kind of zone out, as it were. And that is the perfect time to meditate on an intention. Now, if your intention is to grow, spiritually, or grow emotionally, or whatever, or maybe it's to stop procrastinating. Maybe it is to find love. Maybe it is to love yourself more. Could be any intention, right? And what I do is, like I said, I imbue it with that particular thing that you either requested or that I already had made. And then when I send it to you, you would use it and meditate on whatever it is that you want to manifest, right? Now, those pens in particular are a little bit pricey. Those are running $100, but it does take a lot of work, not just in the turning, but also in as far as the work that I have to put in, like emotionally, spiritually, to manifest the intentions that I need to into the pen itself. So it does cost a little more. Also supplies. I mean, I'm putting stones and herbs in there, as you saw, and I'm getting special wood for a specific intention. So they are a little bit pricier, but I think that they are well worth it. I've never seen anything like it out there for diamond painting pens at all. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, and either people will buy them or they won't buy them. I'll probably be doing a separate video once I have some more stock, to show people. But I've also got resin pens, wood pens. Now, where can you find these pens? So I do not have my kind of shop or Facebook or whatever started up yet. However, if you go to the Discord, if there's something specific that you want to have me customize, make for you, I can. You just tell me what sorts of things you want inside of your intention pen, and I will make it custom. The nice thing about these pens is that I don't write down what I've made, whatever. There are so many combinations of wood and herbs and stones that really no two pens are going to be the same in the turning, in any of it. So your pen, your intention pen that I make for you, is just for you. There will not be a repeat of it. So if you are interested in something like that and you don't have Discord and you have no interest in getting Discord, that's okay too. You can actually send me an email to houseofmiscellanea@gmail.com and let me know again what you're looking to get, and I'm sure I can make a custom for you. Otherwise, I've shown you guys some other pens in the past for my wood and possibly even resin, but I'll show you again just because. And these actually, all that I'm going to show you, except for the intention pen, are available if you are interested. The prices I have listed on the Discord, but resin pens that are just resin, which I have these two here. These are House of Miscellanea colors, which is why I love them so very much. These are 45, and then I believe I marked 40 for the wood pens. I'm not certain. But if you have any interest in any of these pens, do let me know because they are available. So it'd be 45 plus shipping, and then maybe it's 45 on the, I don't remember the exact price on the wood, but I'll put it in the description. I'll let you know. But if you are interested, you can either send me an email or shoot me a message on the Discord, and I would be happy to help you out. That said, these are early, these are the earliest pens, and then these have started to come later, and then, my turning style is developing as I go. Like, this is one of the latest ones. I love this pen. Now, yeah, they're a little thick. I can make them thinner, whatever you need from me. Just let me know. But that's one thing that I have been up to, and I am super, super excited about. I can't wait to make my own intention pen, but I think that these are really going to be popular, you guys. So I would honestly say if there's a custom that you want to get, I would send me a message soon. I've already received 3 or 4 orders, so keep in mind it does take me a while to make those because I have to pour the resin in multiple stages. I have to do spell work on it twice, once when I put the items in and then again when I turn the pen. So they do take a while. I would recommend that if you want one of them that you get an order in for a custom sooner rather than later, because there may come a time when I have a very long waiting list and I don't want to leave you waiting for your pen so you end up forgetting about it and all that fun stuff. So we can discuss when you make an order, place an order for a custom, like what I might need down or if I need anything down, etc. So that all said, that's one thing I've been doing. Dustin had a birthday this week, and we went over to his parents' house for a fish fry. And, like he had family come over, whatever. We went over there early because his parents needed some help setting stuff up, whatever. And we took Beans with us because we usually take Beans over to his parents. He can run around in the backyard. They've got about an acre fenced in yard, and he's safe to just, go be himself. Well, we notice he's hanging out like way at the back of the fence, barking at something, just barking his face off, and couldn't figure out what in the heck he's barking at. And I said, what if there's like a deer back there? And Dustin's like, I don't think the deer can get in the yard because of how high the fence is. I'm like, well, he's barking at something back there. So I start heading in that direction, and I see he is playing with, and I mean like bouncing around with, a baby fawn that could not have been more than a year old. Now, of course, I didn't get any pictures. My in-laws got a really quick picture after my father-in-law grabbed up the baby deer, but nothing of him playing with it because it was happening so fast. My phone was in the house. I was just like, I was more worried about the safety of the deer. I just didn't want him to change his mind and all of a sudden decide like, okay, and I'm done playing with you. Now I want to eat you or whatever. Because he has caught and accidentally killed a baby bunny over there. So I didn't want to take any chances. But we get down to the end of the yard, grab this doe or fawn up, and my father-in-law went to pass him through the fence where we assume he got in because he was just a teeny tiny little guy, and he just called out for his mom, and I guess later on Mom did end up finding him, but we had this horrible downpour. But I guess Mom came and scooped him up later. He was fine. And then come to find out today I went over to do some resin pouring just to get it done, and my mother-in-law, it turns out, has COVID. Yay. So glad that I spent all of Sunday with them. Well, they were mostly outside. I was in the house with the kids, so it worked out for me, but I just really don't want to get sick, you guys. It's the worst for me because I won't get sick, and then when I do, I'm like, ugh, I would rather be dead. than be sick because I get so incredibly sick. It's like no joke. Um, so yeah, I just really hope that's not the case. I really, really, really hope that's not the case. But you know, what can you do? Um, like if I get COVID, I guess it's not the end of the world. I do briefly also want to talk about well, one, the event. I mailed out a bunch of the prizes today, and after spending like 60 bucks in shipping, I've decided that if I'm going to run this again next year, that I will more than likely either ask the prize winners to pay for the shipping for their prize or something. Because all in all, you know, like buying prizes and mailing out prizes, all the things, um, you know, it ends up costing more money, you know, like, because you buy a canvas or, you know, whatever, it ends up costing money. So I don't want to end up accruing debt just to put on an event. Um, so I think I'm going to run it a little differently next year. Only that really is the was the one I think negative point to, and I won't even call, I mean it is what it is. Like I knew what I was getting into when I started the event. But I think I would do it a little differently next year for that reason. But like my nails are busticated, right? Like this one is terrible because I spent all of my money on shipping and can't get my nails done this week. So it's just sad, sad day for me. Um, but you know, end of the world? No, it isn't. I'll get my nails done when I get my nails done, but just don't make fun of me, guys. Yeah, they're busticated. I know they're busticated. Um, what else? Oh, so I decided to keep the Saturday live on Saturday, okay? Um, and that is because uh I feel like there's more viewership on YouTube than there is um on the Twitch. So I'll keep the Saturday on YouTube until further notice, although it won't be about the event. It'll just be about, you know, diamond painting and whatever else. But Tuesdays, Tuesdays are now going to be Tuesday trivia time. Uh, I've been having a blast with doing trivia when we're together during the lives. And so I think I'm going to keep that going for Tuesdays specifically. It's just been a lot of fun. And so we're going to, well, we all are going to be, you know, people answer questions, and then based on the honors system, you guys will figure out how many questions you got right, and depending on who ends up winning by the end of it, that person will be responsible for picking the quiz topic for the following week. And then I think, if I remember correctly, our next quiz topic is going to be something like human anatomy, which is so fun and so funny. So I'm looking forward to doing a quiz about human anatomy. That was picked by last week's trivia winner. And I think it's going to be a good time, a very good time. But people have been seemingly enjoying the quiz time. I'm gonna keep it just because I have fun with it too. No complaints there. And then Thursdays when I do the Twitch, every I would say like month or so, Dustin joins me on the Thursday live on Twitch. And we like various things. He will come on. Last time he potted two new plants, two of his succulents, and then repotted another. He always gives kind of tips and tricks on the succulents that he's potting or repotting, and kind of care instructions, that sort of thing. And then we talk. Dustin and I, at one point, had actually considered starting a podcast called Couples Therapy. Because oftentimes by our friends, we'll be told that, he and I are couples goals. Or, if you guys ever break up, I don't believe that true love really exists. And it's like, okay, cool. That's a lot of pressure, but all right. And because he and I have like such a fun and funny rapport and relationship with each other, I think that it makes for um, amusing banter. And so that's why I invited him to join me on the Twitch lives. Little less pressure than YouTube. And most of the people who come to the Twitch lives are people who are going to come to the Twitch lives anyways. So you're just kind of getting to know myself and by proxy Dustin a little bit better, and learning about succulents and cactuses at the same time. It's also a nice opportunity for us to sit down, reconnect, because, during the week while he's at work and I'm at home, he's busy doing his thing at work. I'm busy doing my thing at home. And then when he gets here, oftentimes I'm either on a live or I'm on Discord connecting with people there. And he doesn't always get maybe the quality time that he would like to get with me. So he comes on to the Twitch and we get a little opportunity to just, catch up, visit. People get to ask him questions or me questions about whatever, and we have a good time. And it's been really, really nice to kind of share this um, kind of journey with him, because I am not in this alone. Thank goodness. He's very supportive of what I've got going on. Um, and whenever I do anything at all, I really do it with the whole of myself. I invest fully, utterly, and completely. I've just never been the type of person to do things in half measures, and I think he knows that about me. I invest utterly and completely with my whole self, almost sometimes to my detriment, honestly. And so it's good to have his support and have him with me so that I know I am not alone in what I'm doing, and that he does support me, because like his parents still, like his mom especially to this day, she will still stop and ask me like, "Oh, you put in any applications this week? Are you, well, I mean, but you can't totally rely on YouTube or the pens or whatever. Like, you should probably have a real job too." And it's like, she doesn't understand. I don't blame her. And ultimately, like, it isn't up to either of my in-laws to determine what I'm going to do with my time. If I want to go and join the actual circus, I'm going to do that. Because they don't pay our bills. They don't sleep in our marital bed, even though, it's not a marital bed. We're not married. But thanks, bacon, whatever that was about. She just tried to jump on the table. She doesn't do that very often. But yeah, so it's not really up to them to make decisions in that way and to determine what I'm going to do or not do with my life. I could understand if like we were asking them all the time for money and helping to cover bills or whatever. I almost got my putty stuck to my, yikes, would not have liked that. But yeah, I could understand if we were asking them for money or something all the time and essentially, you know, like relying on them to take care of our bills. Uh, and no shade to anybody who may still need help from their parents or in-laws. But you know, that's just not what we need from them right now in our lives. We've been uh away from that stage in our lives for a long time. So I think it just, some of it is, I'm going to be honest, like his mom being a little bit on the nosy side. You know, mother-in-laws can be that way, or moms can be that way. When they think that you're making a wrong decision. Lord knows um, I've been that mom myself plenty of times. I don't think she watches this, and I don't think my kids watch this to agree or disagree with me, but um, I just, my mother-in-law, she's a bit of a busybody, and that's why I know like this COVID thing is driving her absolutely like banana sandwiches, because she loves to be doing something all the time. She is very much a busybody in that kind of way. So I'm sure being laid up with COVID is not making her happy. But I don't think that she watches my YouTube. Like, I don't feel like she cares. I don't think my father-in-law cares. And like I said, I think that they probably see this as a little bit of a joke, and that's okay. Like that's parents for you, right? I mean, my own mom's not around here to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, so be it. Um, but yeah, so neither here nor there. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And if they don't like it, it's ultimately not their call, what I'm doing or not doing. Uh, I, because I've kind of chased the life of a creative um, all the time, it doesn't hurt or bother me when there are judgments made around things that I'm doing that maybe they don't so much like. It's really not hurting my feelings. Like when I was working as a director at the Renaissance Fair, like yeah, they probably thought I was nuts. I was there every single weekend. um you know, it was a big, huge part of my life. I was away from Dustin every weekend, and my youngest, you know, they'd come out and visit sometimes, but for the day, not like to stay or whatever for the weekend. And I didn't care what they thought about it then. So, I mean, I'm just ultimately I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and they can like it or not like it, but ultimately it doesn't matter, because it only matters what Dustin thinks. And as long as he's supportive, then that's really the only person I need in my corner, you know? Like that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now. The only person I need in my corner is my like my hetero life mate, you know? I can't really be bothered with the rest. Meh. Tis what it is. Um And yeah, like the diamond painting thing, some people might look at that, or even the content creation part of diamond painting might look at that and go like, "Oh, that's an interesting choice of what to do with your life." But like I love it. I love it, and it keeps me mentally sane and healthy. I've only had positive experiences from this. And so anybody that wanted to judge me, as far as I'm concerned, can kick rocks, because this has really done more positive for me than negative. So I can't really be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Um okay. So I want to move on to our healing excuse me, healing with the fairies oracle cards, and see what card we've got. I've already shuffled them, and I have the card on top here. Boop. Let's see what, oh, wow, tape. Let's see what we've got. All right, we have, oh, okay. Be honest with yourself. It's a really beautiful card. Kind of loving it, loving the artwork. Be honest with yourself. Okay, thought for the week. Let's see what our book says, and then let's talk about it. Be honest with yourself. You know how long it took me to figure out that these were in alphabetical order? Psh. All right, be honest with yourself. Card meaning. This card indicates that you are hiding your true feelings and aren't being forthright about that you aren't being forthright about an important topic. Brain hitch. The fairies urge you to admit your true feelings to yourself. Do you feel stuck, depressed, tired, angry, or irritable? These are symptoms that arise when we're dishonest with ourselves. Maybe you feel that you can't afford to be honest with yourself and that you don't have a choice. This card isn't asking you to make any radical life changes or have a confrontation with another person. However, it is urging you to admit your true feelings to yourself. One easy way to get in touch with your true feelings is by going outside and engaging in a silent conversation with the fairies who live amidst the flowers, trees, and grass. See also, praying about it or speaking to your higher power, whatever that means to you. Even if you can't yet see or hear the fairies, mentally tell them everything that you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing these days. Ask them to help you get in touch with your deepest feelings. The fairies love to hold a mirror up to us so that we can see and admit the truth. Affirmation. It's safe for me to be honest with myself and others. I speak my truth with love. Okay. And I'm kind of thinking about exactly what that means to me, right? Obviously, I understand why it is important for you to be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, what are you doing? I have had a lifelong distaste for thieves and liars. And I think it's because I feel like I have to know everything there is to know about a person, or I can't get to know them, or at least to know a person enough so I can trust them, because I have severe trust issues. I don't know if it's because of a traumatic past. I don't know if it's because of just my sign as a Sagittarius or whatever. I cannot stand dishonesty. And the fact of the matter is that if you're living a lie to yourself, how can you be honest with me? Right? I'm dealing with an issue some people are aware of, where, someone in my life is emulating me. And more than emulation, at times it is outright almost, I don't know what in the hell to call it. It's someone who is telling my stories as their own, and honestly, it's driving me batshit bonkers. Like, but for real, for real. Especially when really sensitive stories that I have shared with others then are repeated as their own story when I'm not around. And it can be really upsetting to hear about it after the fact. It's like, oh, so and so said that this happened to them in their life. And I'm like, that's oddly specific. How in the hell could that happen to this person too? Because that is not something that normally happens to a human being at all. Um, and I'm trying to understand if it is this person, um, like just truly wanting to be accepted so much that they are emulating a person that they admire, that person being me. And sure, in some cases, a person would be flattered. Uh, I am a little bit creeped out by it. And here's where I am at with that. Um, I'm trying to decide whether I speak to that person and say, like, hey, you know, it's really weird that whenever I talk about something, you tend to repeat it when I'm not around, but as your own story. Or if I just let this person live a fantasy and not be true to themselves. Um, and the thing is, like, other times when I have brought things up to this person and I've kind of like pointed out when their math doesn't make sense, um that they kind of come back with either like a quick dodge and a change of subject, or like finding a way to explain away why why the math doesn't make sense or whatever. um and I don't know how to tell the person that, like, it it is uncomfortable. I want to know you. I want to know you for who you are, because this isn't a person that I'm like fully friends with. Um, it's a person who I'm trying to get to know, but it seems like every time that I try to talk to them about something, it's always like the story changes or the game changes somehow. It's like one time I talk to the person and they have this in their background, and then the next time that I talk to them, they have this completely different thing in their background. And it's it's kind of tiring and it's frustrating, and I just want to tell them to be honest. Okay, if you can't be honest with me, that's fine. It's hard for me to be friends or to ever get to know you or to ever trust you because I don't know you. But fine, if you can't be honest with me, fine. But be honest with yourself. Like, do you want friends? Are you trying to just impress people? Because the problem is that people have sniffed it out. Like, they know it's all bullcrap, and they just want you to be you. They just want you to be yourself. I guarantee you, nothing that you could say in your life is going to scare me so much that I would just tell you outright, like, get lost, kick rocks, get out of here. I have been through some crap. I have I have done some crap. I've been through some crap. I've lived through it. I've survived it, and you can too. But not if you're so busy living a lie that you can't be yourself. I don't know who that person is, and because I don't know who that person is, I can't trust them. Outright, can't trust. Not until they can show me some truth. And by doing so, they have to admit that they have lied. I've always had issues with liars, always. And when I hear my stories repeated back, or repeated back by others because another person repeated it as their own story, like, uh-uh, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. There's no way we've lived a parallel life. There's no way. Yes, it's going to happen that we're going to have some things in common, but there's no way that we have lived a parallel life so much like that, that we are practically the same person. It's just not possible. And I want to know you and I want to like you, but I can't do that until you are true to yourself and honest with yourself, and by proxy, then honest with me and everyone else. I can't do it. I think part of being honest with yourself is really knowing yourself too. To swing off of that topic a little, from that to another portion of the same, being honest with yourself, because I am trying to connect what that could possibly mean to me, right? And how I can utilize this for my week. I have been wrestling with the idea of who I am, where I am, and where I want to go, what I want to do. And so much of my life has been lived in trying the next thing and trying to get to the next thing and surviving for the next thing, that I want to finally find a niche, a place where I belong. And I don't mean that in like somewhat in a community kind of way, but also in a, what the hell am I doing with my life? Am I just chasing this childish dream because I'm trying to prove that I still can do something other than the norm? Or what am I trying to prove? What am I trying to gain? What am I trying to do? And am I doing the right thing? Am I trying too hard? Am I failing? Scary questions, really scary questions. And I sit and wrestle with those by myself all day, every day. It's like, I feel like I lived so much of my life in enslavement to other things, specifically to, one, addiction, two, being basically a parental figure to my own parent, to my younger sibling. Like, I've been in service to other people for so long that when it comes to like responsibility and growing the hell up, I buck the system of it so freaking hard, because I'm just trying to prove that I can do it another way. I can rebuild the wheel and do it better. And why am I doing that? I kind of don't know. But what I do know is that if I do end up discovering along the way that I can break my own way, that I can try something new and different, that if I find success in that, I will also find a pure, unadulterated happiness, that I will feel fulfilled in a way that I haven't before, because I am being independent. I am doing it my way. I am expecting more from others by expecting more from myself, right? I think that I have been trying for so long to recapture some part of this like stolen youth or whatever, that I have allowed myself so many excuses. I've allowed myself so many freedoms because I deserve a childhood. I deserve this. I deserve that. And I mean, granted, I have never denied my kids the opportunity to be kids. I couldn't do it. I could not. Not after the loss of innocence that I experienced. I could never do that to my kids. Oh my God. I had my kids convinced that there was, well, okay, plug your ears, kids. That there was a Santa as long as I possibly could. I made it a point. In fact, like to this day, we still talk about Santa is the one who brings them presents. I'm like, you ever tell me Santa doesn't bring your presents, you stop getting presents. Even though you're adults. I don't care. I worked really hard to make sure that they never ever knew. Because I was probably 7 years old when I figured out that that was all a lie. My mom sent me out to the car to go get something out of the trunk and forgot that she put my gifts in the trunk. And I found out at a very early age that all that was a big old lie. And I was so mad. I was so mad that I was lied to. I was so mad that all of my other friends were lied to, that we were all lied to, you know? And so I feel like I do my best to like chase down this youth I never got. And in some ways, I'm like trying to be one of the cool kids, but I'm not a kid, like in my mind, I'm still in my 20s, but in reality, being in my 40s, it's a little weird. Um, I still feel like I'm cool and relevant when in reality, I probably should go and find a I don't know, an elder home to crawl into where I can stop embarrassing my kids. Okay, that might be a little extreme. But, I just feel like maybe the part about me being honest with myself has to do with just even though I was robbed a childhood, I can't go back and reclaim it. So I should probably stop trying to do that. Um, that doesn't mean like, oh, well, Naomi, you're gonna have to give up, go get a 9 to 5 job. You're gonna have to, get your crap together and be a real adult and whatever, blah blah, because I've already done all of that. But it does mean that I should probably, um, I don't know, like accept that some things are never going to change. They're never going to go, I'm never going to be able to go back to them. So maybe accept what is real, what is true and what is now, and then work within those bounds and limitations, because the fact of the matter is that childhood is gone. It's long gone and it's not coming back. And there's no way I'm reclaiming it. So I can stop that foolishness right now. Um Beyond that, as far as being honest with myself, I feel like I'm overly honest with myself. Um but there are certain things that I cannot and probably will not ever share with other humans except save maybe for Dustin. My dog is scratching. Okay, so weird thing about chihuahuas, off topic, but they like to dig and scratch to make like a nest more comfortable or whatever, even if that nest that they're trying to make more comfortable is a leather chair. It's a weird chihuahua thing. I don't know if y'all own a chihuahua, but that's a thing she does. So, sorry for any scratching noises you might hear, that's just her trying to get comfortable on a leather chair. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm very, very honest with myself. And that's not me being dishonest with others. It's probably just me being overly cautious with others. But when it comes to me being honest with myself, holy crap. I feel like I do a good job of being realistic about my limitations and whatnot. So maybe that message is for somebody out there. Maybe it's for the person that I was talking about, that they need to be honest with themselves. I don't know if they will listen to this or not. I don't even know if they'll know who I'm talking to or about. There are others who will. But I can tell you that until and unless you can be honest with yourself, and then by proxy be honest with others, that I cannot know you and then therefore cannot trust you. It doesn't mean I dislike you, but it means that I don't want you to emulate being, I don't want you to be me. I want you to be you so I can know who you are and like you. Because pretending to be me, it's not where it's at anyways. I can promise you that. And there's no need for Pain Olympics, Pleasure Olympics, anything. Just because I did something and you didn't doesn't mean that you're uninteresting or whatever. It means you've lived your own separate, solitary life. And those experiences are valid too. They don't have to be the same as mine. I would prefer they're not the same as mine. But I'm going to need you to be honest with yourself and then be honest with me before I can ever become friends with you, call you a friend, or trust you. It's just the way it is. On a psychological standpoint, it seems a little bit either narcissistic or pathological to emulate another person and then, I don't know, use their stories as your own. It's weird. It's just weird. And freaks me out just a little bit. That said, let me read one urging you to admit your true feelings to yourself. I do feel like I do want to make sure, though, that I speak my truth with love, because it does say I will speak my truth with love. Okay, so what I am saying about that person and that I can't know them, if I don't know them, I can't trust them, etc. I do say that with love. I do, because I don't think that that person is a mean or cruel or bad person. I just don't know what kind of person they are because I don't know them. I'd like to get to know them, but I find that impossible when they are being me. You know, I know me. I don't need to know more of me. Holy crap. Jeez. One of me is enough. One of me is plenty. All of that said, the rest can go for any of you listening, right? I do highly recommend checking in with your spiritual self, being true to yourself, and giving yourself room to be honest with yourself about all things. Because it is in being honest with ourselves that we can know ourselves, right? If you aren't honest with yourself, you can't know yourself. There's no way to say you know yourself if you can't be honest with yourself. And I really hope that whatever way it is that a person gets there, that you get there with grace and kindness and patience for yourself, because again, just as much as others are deserving of that grace from you, you are as well. Being honest with yourself doesn't mean tearing yourself down either. It doesn't. It means opening your eyes to those things that you've been closing them to, and allowing yourself the space to say, I may not be the best example of an honest person, or sometimes a good person. And I don't mean good as in like, you're evil. I just mean that maybe some of the things that you say or do to others does not show your authentic true self, and therefore people read that as dishonest or as bad. Um, they may read it as you're dangerous, or um, you're cruel, or lots of different things. Being true to yourself, though, is also it. Oops, sorry, I bumped you a little. Is being truthful about the fact that you struggle. I understand that sometimes image is everything, right? If you are strong to the rest of the world and they think that you got your shit together, then you're good, right? Then it's where it's at. If you can pretend to the rest of the world that you are invincible, that you are uh, immovable, immeasurable, invincible, that they'll like you more because of it. No, people like vulnerability. And I think that if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, even to yourself, then you can be vulnerable with others, because that's real. That's real. Drop the facade, come out into the light, and show people that you're a real person. And be vulnerable. Tell your story. No one else can tell your story. You can tell your story. And trust and believe that there's if your story is too ugly for those who you call friends, they're not your friends. There should be no story that you should tell your friends that should scare them away. And if you're worried about the image that you're projecting, and you can't drop the facade because it's not your brand or whatever, maybe you need to rebrand. Maybe it's time to get to know who you are a little better and be true to yourself. Show vulnerability, and people will love and respect you more for it. But behind closed doors, if you can't be honest with yourself, if you can't see yourself for all your faults, admit them, and then also work to change them, then there's more work to be done. There's definitely more work to be done. And for those of you out there who are too trusting, because I know some of you, I talk to some of you almost daily. If you're too trusting, remember to watch for the people that you know are not honest with themselves. If you can read them like a book, but they just won't open that door to you themselves, maybe you keep your safe distance from them, because those people tend to pull everybody else down with them. I just want to know that you're being safe. Safe with your heart, safe with your mind, and your money for that matter. That said, you guys, I hope what I said made sense to the people it needed to make sense to today. You know that I have mad love and respect for you, and that I really do every day when I sit here and diamond paint and do these whipping chats, that I, without knowing you even, that I want the best, the very best for you. And that I have love in my heart for you, regardless of knowing you fully, but would love to get to know you better. that said, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed my whip and chat. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you like diamond painting content and listening to a crazy old witch lady go on and on for an hour. But as ever, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world, that you are having a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Until next time, I hope I talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.